Hello guys and welcome to a new YouTube video. I enjoyed actually making the first one. I think it probably was a little bit too long. I will try to make it a little bit shorter, but not so much because when you talk about Dota, you can talk for years about this game. I'm Papita, I'm a coach, currently looking for a team. I'm in EU, Spain. I got some nice comments about my last video. People were enjoying it. So for the Spanish audience, which is, I would say, my main audience, I will try to, if it's not in this video already, on the next videos to have a Spanish traduction for you guys. Now, let's start with the video. So, today we're going to talk about a team that is just absolutely smashing everyone in his region. This is BetBoom here. They play on the EU qualifiers, EU region, and these are their results. They got in the last year top 4. They got top 4 on Wallachia. They won another Wallachia. I would say they're a tier 1 team. They're always like kind of contesting the top stages of the tournament. Sometimes they just, I would say, choke a little bit or fall short from what everyone expects from them. But lately, they have been there destroying the region to 0, to 0, to 0, 3-1. As you can see here as well, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. It's like the enemy teams, they don't even have a chance. And if you see their matches, they're all like very short duration. Like, yeah, this is a 40-minute team, but look at the next ones. Next one, 20 minutes, 45, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. It's like just a quick day in the office for them every day in this region. So we're gonna start with this video, guys. Why is BetBoom making everyone look like noobs? Let's get into it. But before we got more into the drafting details of the team, I think I have to point out some gameplay details because it's gonna really show you how they approach the game, and also it's like a kind of an antithesis of what I showed you from Liquid in the last video. This just goes straight into replays. I will try to just be like more punctual about these things. I want to talk about 4 points. One of them is how the supports connect after 5 minutes and how the offlane prioritizes. It's like insane how he prioritizes reaching to the room. On minute, sometimes it's minute 8, sometimes it's minute 10, 12. Whenever he can connect, he will be there. So it's all about early objectives for them, and they use the siege like no other. Let's look. When I showed you about Liquid, I showed you about this connection, and this game you're gonna see all about connection. So check this draft. This is not a very aggressive draft, I would say. They have a weak offlane because the enemy team has Warlock and Luna. It's hard for them. They have Brewmaster and Shadow Demon. Not a lane that they should win, I would say. They're not winning it. Mid lane is a little bit hard for Beastmaster. Bottom lane is also like trade. It's trade farm. But the concept that they have a lot is to connect heroes when the knight is coming in the map. In this case, they connect before minute 4 because they see a play happening before them, right? So Warlock TPs. They use the supports to outnumber the team in basically every interaction they have on big timings. GPK gets a solo kill mid, that's a GPK special, but these connections make the enemy team, you will see in all the replays, but it makes the enemy team to react to them always. They're a team that is so aggressive and they take the initiative all the time that it makes so many forced errors from the enemy team that they just end up with no resources and no availability to make a play of their own. So they go bottom, they get this play. Let's check quickly the early game, how they keep connecting after this. The Disruptor protects the T bottom for a little bit. This time is a little bit more of a defensive gameplay. I want to also point out that they prioritize Radiant a lot. I would say that it really goes into how this team plays. They are always aiming to be on the aggressor side because, well, if you don't know, basically Radiant, Let me pause so I can talk about this for a second. Radiant is the aggressive side because from 15 to 20 minutes, you have a chance to start preparing to rush before the Tormentor objective. So when you are Radiant, you have way better positioning if you are the aggressor and you already took with the siege creeps or with ultimates the first two big objectives of the game, which are the tier 1 top and the tier 1 mid. If you take these two, then how is the enemy team supposed to defend this Roshan unless they have like some big advantage in the game or it's just some insane draft that they can defend this area and stay here forever. So this is like also I think I needed to point out about BetBoom. They're a Radiant team. In this case, the enemy team is trying to an aggressive play in the siege creep, and BetBoom just reacts. They do it correctly. TA dies, but they get a kill on the sniper and a kill on the Doom. So the aggression here is not so much on the 5-minute siege creep, but it's about defending the TA safely, having the tower healthy, and then it will start with the Brewmaster. Again, the enemy team goes on TA, Disruptor is ready, Brewmaster connects, they are outnumbering the enemy team.
Looks like Radiant's top tower is getting torn down. Probably asbestos.
9 minutes, SD calls for resources to base. They don't allow this Warlock ultimate to take the tower bottom. Brewmaster dies top, but he still has a TP. So now, look. Now it starts. Brewmaster is level 6, they have the siege creep. And the Disruptor is level 6, SD is level 6. And they are already connecting for the first objective of the game. They go for top, they set up pretty nicely. This is another point that I see from BetBoom that is superior to other tier 1 teams I see, which is they take the objectives in like I would say the limit of not suffering a defensive team play from the enemy team. Like they look at how they play. They scan here, they scan this area of the map. You can see it on the minimap, right? Yeah, they scan there, and when they see some heroes, they just position themselves, and they let the siege tower, the siege creep to take the tower. So they take this tower, and it doesn't stop. After this, when BetBoom is ready to make plays, it just doesn't stop for them. They go bottom, connect to the safe lane after tier 1 top, and they keep forcing these enemy TPs, which are like super awkward. When you're a tier 2 team, I coach many teams, it's hard to find someone that makes a plan for the team. Like most of the people are just like having a good game, enjoying hitting creeps, and not like actually planning on how you're going to win the game and take the objectives that is going to help you progress into those I would say mini wins. But when this happens, as you can see, Luna TP bottom, now he has no TP. The Warlock TP bottom, he had to cancel, it's into Brew ulti, and he has ulti. So the way they play, which is like just be precise, use the siege creeps, use the ultimates, it makes the enemy team to start losing their own timings and their own plays they could make. So they use ultimate bottom, and now it's time to farm again. GPK, I think he's gonna eat a smoke here, like the enemy team. They're not noobs. They make the play, and they take the tower. As they should. So now, what does BetBoom have to do? They need to wait for the other Brewmaster ulti, and they are waiting for a timing on Beastmaster, which is the Scepter. T is just enjoying the free farm bottom. And here you're gonna see from BetBoom that this happens almost every time. Whenever they hit a timing, even if it's like on just one hero, they try to start taking an aggressive part of the map to start advancing on the map. Like they just don't want this Master to keep taking these camps or keep taking these camps. They want to start advancing and connecting to the good wards that they have on the map. So they smoke and they connect. Beastmaster with Disruptor, he TP'd mid, and they connect with the offlaner and the position 4. They advance here, they take vision, and I wanna also comment GBK on this really like precise way of farming, because they predict that this is an area that they currently cannot take so safely. Look at what would have happened. They have no vision, by the way, here. But look at what would have happened if they kept advancing here. Look, it was so close. The enemy team is just here waiting. If they keep going, they're gonna find destruction, basically. It's just like really precise the way they advance on the map and connect heroes. So as soon as they see enemy team is not showing bottom, the siege wave, they have to push the mid wave, they start retiring from top, right? So Brewmaster left without dying, good. Hit the mid, dealt with the wave, and they go again. Like when they see enemy team is not pressuring top anymore, they see task on the ward, they start advancing. And again, scan, they see someone push mid, and they see Luna push top, now they go. It's time. And they go for the vision. Why, guys? Because they are Radiant. And they want to take the Roche with this scepter timing. They also play for the 16-minute run, which is super important. 16 and 18-minute run are the most important objectives of this first 20 minutes of the game, because it's going to secure Roche for them. So they do it like it's like they have these things as a concept very like inside their brains. It's super like how do you say it? Inside, let's just say inside the brains. It's connected to them, between all of them. So now that they took enemy vision, look at what do they have on Dire. There's no more vision here. There's no more vision here. The Beastmaster took a rune that they don't know what it is. They don't see where they're making a play, so they are a bit scared, and they are just not holding this area anymore. Doom has no pipe. He has ulti on Warlock, but what is BetBoom doing? What can we do? It's just a little bit too hard. You see, they go Roche, Doom is showing mid, they just give up on this play. And from this point, BetBoom they just take control. So I wanted to show this replay for a little bit more than I'm gonna show the other ones, because I wanted to show how disciplined they are in comparison to how the tier 2 teams of their region play. They take the Tormentor on 20 minutes, but it's gonna be all about the gate controls. They use gate a lot. They Torm, gate again, kill a Warlock here. They play a lot on the corners of the map. Go for 21-minute rune. And it's just also efficient. I think that's the word, efficient. They see on 2050, enemy team is not gonna contest the 21-minute wisdom rune, so they smoke together, always connecting one support with the core. They connect the two supports with the core. They use the most heroes they need to use for the objective. And the other ones, what are they doing? They are closing the map for the enemy team. So this sniper that he had, a Mjolnir, in a pretty early timing, it's not the same sniper. And they just catch him. And all of these plays they're making is going to make so that when the Beastmaster loses the Aegis, he has a beacon, which is like basically another Aegis. And you could just you cannot fight into this. And this is how they play. It's also in a draft where the early game is not so good, but you're going to see now how they play when the early game and their heroes are actually early focus heroes. This was on the Birmingham qualifiers. You're going to see. It's all about siege creeps, supports connection, so you can set an initiative on a lane and make it imbalanced for the enemy team, and then connecting with the offlaner to every big objective. Look. So I'm just going to jump to those points. Check the draft quickly. It's Taskar Gyro against Bristleback Willow. Most of the teams or players, I would say, they consider Bristleback as a counter to Gyro, but you can just play with the Drinking Buddies facet and you can push lane. It's not that big of a countering lane. They did well anyway, as you can see. Top lane, they put a Jagiro as a position 4, which is one of the strongest heroes in laning. They're still against a hard lane, but Mars will not do so bad because he has Jagiro. And JPK will always do 50-50 or win the lane. So 5 minutes is coming. What are they gonna do, that guys? Jakiro pushing top. Pascal pushing bottom. Jakiro connects bottom. 5 minutes. I'm telling you, this is a big concept that they have. And it's not like they got a kill or anything. It's just that they want to move together because they're gonna do much more as a duo than alone. So they connect because if they get a kill on this Bristleback, they're gonna push with the catapult, and it starts putting pressure on this Warlock. Imagine Warlock having to TP bottom and protect this Bristleback. He's gonna suffer in levels. He's gonna suffer because he doesn't have a TP for top anymore. It's like when you have the cycle of the TP on your favor, it's gonna be always an advantage for you. And they also connect for the rune. But 6 minute run, they take it together. Jakiro goes back top. Gets tipped for not getting a kill. Little do they know. Keep laning for a little bit. Franco's farming. So any minute he comes. This time the guy that connects to the rune, as I told you, it's either the supports connecting together. A lot of times you would see this task already in the rune, but he saw an opportunity to maybe kill the Bristleback with the gyro. But still the offlaner connects. He has ultimate. And he will always look, there's a big wave though. But the concept is here. He will always go for the rune because if the enemy team wants to contest, he will be there to kill the hero and make him so that he has to either TP out, die and TP to a lane. It's all about making the enemy team slow. So Bristleback dies bottom, but also does gyro. Jakiro pressuring bottom. I think this is an amazing Jakiro team, by the way. They pressure so much that the Jakiro gets value from the first one. Look, 10-minute run, guys. What is going to happen? You have a Mars on the rune. Yes, the Ember got the rune. Maybe because the Tusker is not ready there. But he still will go for it. And look at now. Sage creep, minute 10. Next objective. They're there. Smoked. They're ready to pressure anywhere they can. Is top a lane that they can pressure? It's a little bit harder because maybe they have to go with the gate on gyro. They don't know if they have vision here. Also, Tusker is already playing bottom. Kanka, maybe it's a play mid. Maybe if the Ember goes to the Remnant, they can kill. So that's what they kind of try to do. But he doesn't use the Remnant, so they're gonna connect bottom on what? Siege creep. Minute 10. Here it comes. They go for Willow. Suddenly, like, what do you do against this? If you find yourself reacting to this, you are gonna lose the fight because they're already 4v2, 4v1. You don't have the numbers. And GBK, he pushes mid and he connects to. If there's a fight happening here, GBK would be here. But since it's free, he's just gonna take stacks. So what happens now? They lose a tower. And the map starts shrinking for the enemy. They keep going, take stacks. So you say, whoa, why the hell is the enemy team just letting them take anything? Well, look, guys, they're all just finding themselves TPing somewhere. Why? Because they got pressure and they got killed. The Ember was taking the rune, I guess, or just farming creep somewhere. The Bristleback, he got killed a little bit before. It's like they are all like trying to get out on the map to play the game. So they realize this on BetBoom, that they are ready to take this, they're out. It's just like very fast gameplay. And even when they're getting out, they just make the Warlock ultimate and they just leave. So they lost another way of pressuring towers on Dia with the Warlock ultimate. So you will see. It's a very big pattern from them. Again, smoked up. Kanka has the vessel, so they're looking for a pressure play. Also, offlaner ultimate. Look, carry connecting with the gate, support connecting. How do you deal with this? If you are not making plays into them, it's 5v1, 5v2. You cannot TP to this. If you TP 3 heroes here, your first TP is gonna last 3 seconds, second one 4 seconds, third one 5 seconds. You need to make your own plays in this region. You cannot let BetBoom just be the initiator every time. You're gonna lose the game. This is why I think like tier 1 teams, they challenge BetBoom, and since they are such a big early game team, if they don't get what they want, they're gonna suffer when the game is even. So they took tier 1 gold, tier 1 top, and they will go, I think, on the 15 mid as well. They try like a play here on the dial, but they're already out after they farmed away. Look, Siege mid, Mars has heals. It's probably more about that the Mars has the heals than the Siege creep. They would make the play anyway and push without the Siege creep. So, but still, it's just a nice little detail, right? He has the heals, he can control the Ember, connects mid with the camper, get the Ember, and just after this, the game, I think it's basically very. If you play the game from this point, just like correctly, decent, I think the game is basically free. They push me, they guide some spells. They have Gyro still free farming board. Maybe if Gyro connected when Ember was dead, the tower was dead. They keep farming together, Tusker and Gyro. I'm gonna just advance the game where they go to mid and they start playing for the Russian, which is why they all the time do on Radiant. They play on mid for the runes. Heals. Combo again. 18 minutes. Go for Russian. How do you play from here if you're dire? You don't play. You're just looking for oxygen on the map and there's none. So this is BetBoom, guys. I'm gonna show maybe one more. Because here you will see a lot of offlane rotations from this team. And what I think I see from these teams they're facing is just that they are trying to do their own things on the enemy teams, but they don't prioritize what's good on the map. Like, of course you can have your own strat, of course you can have your own draft, but if you don't make use of what the game gives you, which is the siege creeps, the gates, the smokes, the map, the opportunity to have Radiant in an early game meta focus on the picks, then you're just gonna get run over when the enemy team is prioritizing this to like a really professional extent. So look, 5 minutes. Look at the Axe. He is carrying wave at this point. Just quick drafting check. Pack against Lesh. Decent lane for GPK. It's 50-50. Axe carrying wave top. The Chen cannot do much about it. Abaddon super strong safe lane with Phoenix. Not much the underdog can do. They will win the safe lane. 90% of the cases. 5 minutes siege. At this point, I think they don't connect because the Axe is just carrying wave and Abaddon pressure here. So there's not many lanes to pressure. But look at the minute 6. Nyx connects to the rune. Phoenix is connecting to the rune. And also the offlaner, the Axe is connecting to the rune. So 4v2, nothing you can do. You miss these points as a tier 2 team. The tier 1 team is gonna make you look like a noob. It's gonna happen, guys. And you have a siege now hidden the mid wave. You have to deal with it. Or you lose half HP on the tower. Keep carrying wave on Axe. He's happy. Now everyone starts growing on net for. Abaddon free farming bottom. Now Puck is free farming because they kill the Lesh. Guess what's gonna happen when the 8-minute rune comes? You're right, they're gonna connect to the rune. Look. Nyx coming to the rune. Axe coming to the rune. Puck fighting bottom. Finn is connecting bottom and he's back in here. But since Axe is here and the Chen, I think even if you're Chen, like you could connect or just choose on Dire to not fight for any of the runes, because if Chance just wants to farm and prioritize his items, and the Underlord doesn't have ulti yet, then you just have to let them have everything. But if you try to fight, it's just 4v2. There's no way you win this. So at this point, Axe top net worth, Lesh dead again, is recovering all the time, the Underlord is recovering, everyone is just recovering. And they start losing, they start bleeding everywhere. It's just yours that is farming, but he's gonna go Battlefield, so it's gonna delay the ability to make plays. Axe set up on mid, they push bottom with the pop, with the DD, tower dead, 10 minutes is back again. Axe was close to fight it in the rune, but the enemy just gave up on it, it's just a little bit too late. Sage creep mid.
You can tell Dire's middle tower is in trouble from the way it's being destroyed as I speak.
Phoenix level 6, and since all the enemy team was react to everything and not prioritize what they could do in the game and couldn't do, they have level 5 Shadow Demon defending, they have Chen level 5, Nix is level 6, Phoenix is level 6. And at the 12-minute run, this game is just, I think it's gonna be over. They take mid.
Dire's middle tower has kicked. If you're in the vicinity of Dire's top tower, I'd put on a hard hat. That baby is coming down.
Smoke to get the rune, haste top. Now they have full control of the map because Pac has runes. Connect to top. And again, it's just the same old story. 5 heroes top, Abaddon connects with the gate. Again, 3 towers, no contest from the enemy team. You could argue that the heroes are doing this, like it's just too greedy from Dire the draft and everything. But I also think it's just that they don't realize how these objectives and the way of playing is like so important to be crisp on this, to be effective, to use the things that the game provides you. And it's just every game is a stomp. You have another fairy mini game, and they do it on Dire as well. And on Dire, you could argue that you could play a little bit more defensive, but if you have the opportunity, why not just take every objective and advance on the map so that Radiant cannot take this 15 to 20 minute Roshan. It's the same concept, you just do it on the enemy side. Of course, you could also say, like, yes, GPK is better than the enemy mid, Kiritich is better than the enemy offlaner, Miero is better than the enemy safe laner, and they're going to destroy every lane, but they also pick and play for it a lot. So you have to value these things from this team. Let's jump into the other talking points I had for today, which is the drafting. Right, so when we go into the drafting of the BetBoom team, I would say if you connect the dots of what I told you of how they try to play the game, you will quickly figure out how they draft and why they pick certain heroes. Like if you check, for example, these grand finals that they play against Aurora, it's all about securing strong silence. They secure a decent matchup for the mid laner. Of course, they don't want to get hard counter, but it's more about just having places where they can start pressuring on the map. If you see this first game, like, look, they have no melee hero. Like, you say, well, whoa, this is like a huge draft mistake. They don't have a good composition to team fight afterwards. Well, let me tell you, this team, they don't care that much about the team fight. They care about laning, and they care about advancing on the map. So safely they have Tinker TA last pick against Primal Beast. You cannot fight this lane as Tusker Underlord. And you have Enigma as a 16-17 pick with a Hoodwink in lane. So it's like double range. They just care about making the enemy just suffer and not have the levels and the resources they need to contest when they do this Roche timing. It's simple. Like if you see the graph, 16 to 70 minutes, they do the Roshan here, they do the Tormentor, and how is the enemy team just gonna fight after this? Because they will have BKB's pipes, all these auras that are gonna solve the draft issues. And it's similar everywhere. Like in this draft, they are not seeing supports matchup or anything. They just see a Wind Ranger, they pick 2 supports that are super strong. They see Tusk Ancient, and they know that with the Enigma, they already show Wind Ranger core, they're gonna enjoy this lane. They're gonna be able to out CS and also pressure when the Enigma is gonna be level 5 or 6 on the Kara wave. So they just advance on the map. They cannot stay in this lane any longer after this. Next draft, you have Warlock, insta pick Abaddon. It's not like Warlock. It's not like Abaddon is gonna match up against the Warlock. They could pick. I think in the next quals they pick Brewmaster into Warlock, but here they are just thinking about lanes again and strong, uncontested heroes that the enemy cannot pressure in lane. Abaddon, the enemy tries to answer with Tuskar Enigma, which I would say is decent as a lane, but still Abaddon is gonna survive because I don't see a lot of potential, kill potential in the lane. They try, they pick TIE Hunter and Wind Ranger in lane, so they get Omni Knight on 18. Viper 23, and this is where they end up with a favored draft because they have a sniper mid, and only they have a Tuskar on Raiden that can reach this hero. So if you see, they still lost top, they lost they drew the safe lane, and they lost mid. And after this, it's just same. It's like a storm. They lose the Roche. At some point, they lose Tormentor. They cannot fight anymore. This game, this was like the game I saw and see. Like I checked why did they lose so fast, and it was because a pretty much impossible safe lane to win with the Warlock and the Omni Knight. Here it was the same, but this time it was not so much about the safe lane, but also the off lane. They had two lanes which they were gonna get pressured. Ogre and Viper versus Primal Beast and Willow. If they survive the first 3 levels on Viper without dying and not losing sight of his hero, just dying to the Willow first ball and the Primal Charge, they will probably win after strong level 3. But they died before, they snowballed, they started losing and bleeding everywhere. They lost the tide, and mid Sniper didn't lose to Kunkka, so it's just the only game they lost. And after this, it's just again Enigma with Hoodwinkle lane, Tiny mid very standard, and TA safe lane against Mars. It's just strong lane. Center against Shadow Demon, Phoenix, which I would say a lot of teams should consider this hero more in this patch because the offlaner pool is like super focused on the very tanky heroes like Underlord, TIE Hunter. Let me check real quick. Axe. Centaur is decent against Phoenix. Even against the Brewmaster, I think Phoenix is decent. Bristleback. It just covers a lot. You can even play against Enigma. It covers for basically all of the enemy offlane hero pool. So Phoenix into Centaur. SD to Phoenix Centaur. They see the Mars and they go Lifestealer. Strong safe lane again. They don't care so much about the win condition because they know after they win the early game, they're gonna take the map and they are not gonna let the enemy farm and they're gonna have win condition on items, not heroes. Jakiro, first pick, strong lane. They see the Gyro and they go for Axe. It's not like Axe is a huge counter into Gyro, but he can lane with the Jakiro. They win this lane. They see Tuskar TIE Hunter, and they go for Abaddon again. Abaddon Ancient. I would say this is one of the teams that is still prioritizing Abaddon. You don't see much Abaddon anymore. This is like another one. They see Warlock, they pick the Abaddon. They don't think they can lose lane with this hero, so they just grab it. It's about not losing lane. They see Tomb Luna, they go Darkseer. Then the Sus, so as a support here, they just have good duo supports, strong lane, mid laner they can play with, they connect, Siege Creep, whole map is taken. They see Chen, Axe, again, they don't see the carry matchup, they just go for lane. Abaddon again, without even seeing the matchup. It's just fixed afterwards with the support, Phoenix into SD, think decent matchup, and also into Underlord, free lane for Abaddon, and top, they just play for carry wave. Mid, they see the matchup, and they have comfortable matchup for GPK. They see Beastmaster here, Gyrocopter, just strong, super strong, safe lane with Tuskar. It's not even that he's on a lane against Beast, but it's about that he cannot lose lane. Kanka against Beastmaster, strong lane. Then then they see that they pick Beast and Bristleback, not gonna see the Mars matchup, so they just get a teamfight hero with the Jakiro 4. It's gonna make his game fun for Mars. He's not gonna suffer like we saw on the Liquid replay with the Mars against the Kess Ogre lane that suffered a lot. It's different. So basically, this is BetBoom, guys. I would say a team that is able to stomp the region entirely every time. He's a tier 1 team that just plays with tier 2 teams like they are babies. When they get to the big stages and they play against tier 1 teams, they get contested in draft. They get contested in lane. So they don't play against like some weak lanes. They play the Amars and the Crits and the Skitters and the Snakins and the Mouse insane strong silence as well. So it's different there. But if you want to be a tier 1 team that sums qualifiers, here you go. This is a video you should watch. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is it. See you on the next one. I think next one I'm going to do Mouse or Falcons maybe. See you guys. Bye-bye.